Which one of you was it? Who did this over here? Who did all this? Oh, I can't believe you. Who?
So, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and a technical rainbow in between, welcome to Modular Media Wrestling Podcast, where me and the Vacuuminator here go through a month's worth, fuck it, whatever, a month's worth of wrestling and just talk about it at the end of the month. Hi, I'm Chris Boingo Rider, and with me is, of course, I gesture to you,
the Vacuuminator, now with twice the stopping power.
Next time we're gonna have Kung Fu Grip.
Maybe we'll see what the designers can get going.
All right, cool. So, this time we have a bigger list, so I'm not gonna run through it at the beginning, but we can start at the very top, which is the cringe fest known as Crown Jewel. Oh my god, how much of a shit show was that?
Did you watch it at all?
No, I saw clips and it's just like, oh, ooh.
Yeah, I think this might be the worst thing WWE did all year so far. There's still time, but like
with WWE, there is always still time. Like, god damn, it was tone deaf. It was
the World Cup sucked. I don't care what you think about the individual matches. It sucked all the way through to me. That ending was just atrocious. They've done a decent job with it on SmackDown since then, but like, fuck WWE for making Vince, or for making the Miz rather, have his first injury that makes him no longer able to compete at this fucking pay-per-view, and then having Shane McMahon win the tournament. No, if that's the direction you're going to take the story in, then you have the Raw guy win the tournament. Like, I don't care how fake wrestling is. Shane is too old to win a tournament that's to determine the best in the world at this point. It's ridiculous. I hate it. Everything else was just fucking dumb and goofy. I really cringed hard. That's why I called this a cringe fest, actually, when they like introduced the prince who pays to make these Saudi Arabia things happen. Like they like said, ladies and gentlemen, whatever his fucking name and title is, and had him stand up and people applauded for him, and I was like, ooh, no, I wouldn't have put this in the international broadcast. Like, you can still do it there if you have to, but I would not put
especially because that's the guy who ordered the reporter to be killed, and it's like, ooh,
yeah.
Oh god, oh.
Hulk Hogan being there was surprisingly the most okay thing. Like, he just came out and went, "Hi, brother. It sure is great to be back in the WWE, brother. Okay, goodbye now, brother." And that was it. And I was like,
when Hulk Hogan is the least controversial part of your fucking pay-per-view, that really says something.
But yeah, he was fine. I thought it was a little silly how excited Renee Young got to see him. Like, she was practically losing her mind. She was like, Hulk Hogan!
She wasn't losing her mind. Vince McMahon was telling her to lose her mind.
Probably. The fucking Universal Championship match sucked. It was awful. I can't believe they gave the belt back to Brock. What a waste of a storyline. And it was just a Brock versus Roman match with Braun Strowman in it, and was Roman there? I forget if Roman was there or not.
No, Roman had already announced his departure due to leukemia.
Yeah, it was just F5 after F5 after F5 until Braun stopped getting up, and then bam, you win, Brock, I guess. And it's dumb. I don't want any belts on Brock at this point. He can still be in WWE. I just don't think he deserves to have a belt on his waist right now. And the one thing I was genuinely looking forward to, DX versus Brothers of Destruction, it was fucking awful. like the complete antithesis of the Super Showdown match that we flipped out over. It was slow, it was boring, it looked like a bunch of tired old men trying to do something they can't do anymore. And you know, I feel completely fine and not rude at all by saying that, because Shawn Michaels himself said it during the match. There's a moment where him and Triple H get thrown into a corner and he just looks at Triple H and mouths, "We're too old for this." And I was like, yeah, you
especially because
are.
fucking Triple H pulled a muscle, and so Shawn Michaels, who has been out of the ring for how long, had to pull most of the match. It's like, oh my god.
It was the only good part about it is at the beginning, as Shawn is getting in the ring, he tries to do his classic take his hat off and slick his hair back thing, but he goes like, oh, I don't have hair. That was funny. That was okay. That was the one genuinely good part of this whole pay-per-view.
God, it's frustration over frustration, and it just, remember how earlier in the year I went like, oh yeah, I think right now is the best time to be a fan of WWE. Everything just looks so good right now. All these old fans are just jaded, and like, because we're coming in with fresh eyes, we're going like, oh yeah, no, all this is cool. Look at us fucking now. God.
It's gone downhill quite fast. And we'll talk about that as we go along.
Oh yeah, very much so. But like, dear God, at least none of the women got hurt because of this.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm glad women weren't allowed to compete during this.
Because, oh dear God, imagine fucking like Sasha Banks having to fucking like praise the prince, and it's like, oh, just what the fuck.
No.
All right, next thing is Jim Neidhart's glasses getting broken by Ruby Riott.
I loved this. I loved this whole segment. I like the storyline. It's been, I don't like that it's been kind of shoved into the background recently, but I really like it. It feels very old school heel to me, especially with the actual glasses breaking moment. I was like, oh man, that's actually kind of visceral and history changing. That's not something you see in WWE too much anymore. That felt impactful, and I like it. And I kind of flipped out over it on Twitter.
Yeah, that's the strange thing about fucking Raw, is they have so many. They don't have any storylines, and the storylines they do have, they don't fucking do. Like, and they have 3 fucking hours to fill. It's like, what the fuck, my guys?
Maybe if they cut out one of those hours, they could get some good stuff done. Maybe another show that's only 2 hours has already proven that over and over again. Maybe I'm being a salty bitch and revealing which I like better.
It is no question of what any wrestling fan likes better at this point in time. Like, I watch, there's a guy I watch regularly on YouTube called Brian Zane. He does wrestling content. And every week he does an episode just talking about Raw and SmackDown, who Raw it better, a joke, who wore it better.
Yeah.
And this week's episode, he basically started the episode going, all right, I'm just going to have to explain why SmackDown won. Not like, oh, here's my review. It's like, here's why SmackDown is better this week. And it's just like, no ifs, ands, or buts. It's just like, yeah. It's just like, oh dear God. It's just frustrating because Ruby Riott's a great wrestler, and they're giving her nothing to do. Natalia's a good wrestler. They're giving her nothing to do. Like, it's just...
Like, this storyline seems like something genuinely cool and interesting that they came up with on themselves as like an old school throwback.
But even
and the writers are just like, yeah,
they
whatever.
didn't actually tackle what it was, because it was more of like, they went like, oh, she broke the glasses. It's like, the glasses weren't the important thing. The glasses are just a representation of the grief she's feeling right now and the history of that, and like all this thing summed up. The glasses are not the important thing. They're just the thing to snap this.
Did you watch this year's Total Divas season finale?
I don't fucking watch any of the Diva shit.
I generally try not to myself, but I watched it because it was about Jim Neidhart's passing. Total Divas did a better job with this material than Raw did.
As long as Total Divas is not in the control of Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
We can continue just shitting on Raw and SmackDown, but let's continue so we can shit on them later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so The Miz and Daniel Bryan were announced at the time to be the co-captains of the Men's Survivor Series team. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it was a great dynamic because it felt like both of them kind of going like, okay, we're stuck together because of work. Let's try and make the best out of this and generally be civil. And seeing the comedy that came out of that was great.
Oh yeah, I really like just a lot of the dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
especially because they each wanted their own guys. So The Miz wanted heels, but Daniel Bryan wanted faces. So of course Daniel Bryan wants Rey Mysterio, and like all in the.
I like that at the end there. It came down to we're gonna have a match, my guy versus your guy, and whoever wins makes the team. I felt like that was a cool idea that made for good content on the show, and like
Also,
I kind of wish we just had co-captains on each team every year, so we could just do that as a storyline on both shows for a little bit.
They just need to make matches mean something.
Mm-hmm.
But they rarely do, and it's just like like this week, like we'll get to it. I just but cool dynamic. Daniel Bryan's always great. The Miz is always great. It's fucking dope. Same on SmackDown. Nikki Cross versus Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I kind of lost my shit at this because I first saw it happen while I was at work. Like, I was just scrolling through my Twitter timeline because I had nothing better to be doing. I swear, boss, if you're listening to this. And I follow an account that, like, live tweets every wrestling show with GIFs. And I just see this GIF of Nikki Cross fighting Becky Lynch, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I look at the person's timeline, and they've got a bunch of GIFs of this match, and I'm like, what the fuck? Nikki got called up. Nikki got called up. And then I started screaming and tweeting. And then like, she didn't get called up. She was just in a match on SmackDown. But still, this is a great friggin' match. And like a really cool out of nowhere.
She's one of my favorite. She's one of my favorite female wrestlers. Nikki Cross is like top dog.
Yeah, she's a good
great.
girl. She's a good little lassie.
She's a mad little Scott girl.
Mm-hmm.
Against a badass Irish gal. It was
a great little idea there to put like the badass female Scottish wrestler versus the badass female Irish wrestler.
Yeah. I mean, who else would have been convincing to fight Becky Lynch at that point in time?
And I love how Becky's just so indignant, and she's like, You're from NXT. You think you can stand up to me? You think you can take the man? What makes you think that? And Nikki's just like, I want to play. It's so great.
Nikki Cross is great.
Mm-hmm.
But, yep, Becky Lynch is still the women's champion, so Nikki lost. Next is the thing that I haven't been keeping up with because he's not on a program I've been watching. So you can kind of take this one away.
Okay, so Mike and Maria Kanellis showed up, to my knowledge, for the first time in the WWE on 205.
No, they've been in WWE semi-regularly. Mike Kanellis got an injury and then came back.
Mm-hmm. But they showed up on 205 Live, I want to say a month ago, maybe like a month and a couple weeks. And they've just been wonderful. Mike and Maria both are great. Mike has like a really nice, unique presence in the ring, and he just always looks like he's enjoying the hell out of what he's doing. And Maria is this great, like, conniving master manipulator, her heel wife who doesn't fight at all, but is just always able to get what she wants by manipulating people, and I love it. Like they're just some of the best heels in the company right now, in my opinion. I love the whole storyline they've had so far of coming in and going like, okay, we're new to this. we need to get some experience and kind of hang back a little bit. Maybe we should join up with somebody. Oh, TJP's screwing with these goofy Lucha House Party people. They seem like easy prey. Let's join up with him. And so literally they've just been talking about how they're perfecting the art of lucha hunting, and it's really great and fun. And like there will be moments where they're screwing up, like they're gonna lose a match, Mike and TJP, and Maria will just do something completely insane to distract the Lucha House Party. Like last week, she had a moment where she was backstage. She hadn't come out for this match. I thought she wasn't there, and then I forget how it was gonna end, but like Mike and TJP were about to get beaten by the Lucha House Party, and then you just hear Maria screaming, and then the camera pans over to the entrance ramp, and she's chasing Drake Maverick out to the ring, screaming at him like he tried to rape her. And she's just going like, "How could you do this? I have a family, never in my life." And he's going like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about." Oh, and then the camera pans back over, and Mike is beating Grand Metalik with a steel chair that he gave a name to and is now talking about affectionately on Twitter. And then like as soon as he's gotten Grand Metalik in a position where he can pin him, the camera pans over back to Maria, and she just stops screaming, smiles, and hands her microphone to Drake and just sassily walks to the ring. And I'm like, that is some choice healing right there.
Yeah.
And they've also just been like super adorable on Twitter and Instagram out of kayfabe. They just seem like a really happy young couple who are super into each other, and the fact that they have a family and are really passionate about their careers. And it like these are people who I had never heard of before, but in the span of a month have supplanted Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella as my favorite wrestling couple. I am fully behind these two, and I support all their endeavors.
Oh,
yes, that includes beating Grand Metalik with a steel chair.
Poor choice of words there, though, because endeavors is always what they use whenever they fire someone.
Oh dear.
We wish good luck on any of their future endeavors. It's like, oh, I get what you're saying, but it's like, oh, in context, it's weird.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I guess I gotta it's not so much as I think I won't like it. It's just more of like the time sink to watch 205 Live. Well, considering
here's the thing, though. There's nothing else on 205 I would say you have to watch. It's just their segments that are so awesome. Like the rest of 205 is just kind of generally okay. It's just Mike and Maria and occasionally Leo Rush that I'm like, yeah, I'm really glad I watched this week because of them.
Well, I fucking really love Mustafa Ali. He's great. Who's Cedric Alexander? He's fucking dope.
Yeah.
The guy who's
they had a pretty good tag team match this week.
Gentleman Jack Gallagher, he's pretty cool looking. Always respected dude with a stash.
Yeah.
It's just, but hey, since I'm cutting 3 hours worth of television out of my diet every week, I guess I have time for it now.
Yeah, I would definitely say next week will be a great time to start because thanks to events that happened this week, TJP, Mike, and Maria have a tornado tag team match with the entire Lucha House Party next week.
And I like Lucha House Party. Their fucking Raw matches lately have been bullshit, but like they're a good team.
I'm really hoping we actually get to see Maria in the ring because, to my knowledge, she's never wrestled before. But I think she could be a pretty great wrestler. She's definitely an amazing worker. Like she was on commentary during her husband's match this week, and it was just great character development for them both.
So next thing, Johnny Gargano turning heel?
Yeah, he's no longer Johnny Wrestling. He is now Johnny Takeover.
Honestly, that's a badass fucking nickname.
Yeah, and it definitively supplants him as this generation's Shawn Michaels because it just makes me feel like it reminds me of the fact that Shawn Michaels was called Mr. WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
Um,
but he's less of a Shawn Michaels. Johnny Gargano feels like an old school style character, but I can't think of an old school style wrestler that he's like. You know what I mean?
yeah, I can see that.
Like you take Johnny Gargano as he is as a character and put him in the 80s, you can see him fitting in just perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But he's not like any but wrestler from that time period, which it's weird.
So yeah, I generally enjoyed or am enjoying this. That's the correct word. I liked that whole promo he had where he's just walking around Full Sail and talking about why he did what he did. I like the fact that this is clearly having an effect on Candice and is causing her to maybe turn heel. And it's just been an interesting, different flavor of Johnny Gargano
It's also a different flavor of heel.
Yeah. And that's the thing I think I appreciate the most about it is it doesn't feel like Johnny turning into a different character. It just feels like the natural evolution of his character due to what has happened in the last few months.
Because it's not Johnny turning onto the fans and going like, it's all your fault, like a generic heel promo would be that they tried to give Becky after her thing, but thank God she fucking pulled through it.
Yeah.
But it's very much more of like, I'm still in the right. I just did this dirty thing because it needed to be done. And you could especially see it during the Takeover War Games match he had with Aleister Black. He's still coming out as if he's a face. He's going like, yeah. And when he heard boos, he was like, okay,
excuse me?
That's a little weird, but okay, I can deal. It's not the end of the world. And like, he still high-fived the kid, and it's like, he is still the same character.
Mm-hmm.
It's just now he's willing to fucking break bones to be a good guy.
Yeah.
He went from
he's not a villain, he's an anti-hero.
Yeah, which really his gear for Takeover matched that perfectly because it was Punisher gear.
Mm-hmm.
Which, what is the Punisher? A guy who's a good guy but does bad things to be a good guy.
Yeah, he is the quintessential anti-hero, I think most people would say. And
Johnny Gargano telling stories with comic book references.
I'll be honest, I've never been super into Johnny Gargano's gear, but like his War Games 2 gear, I would wear that shit out in public. Maybe not just that shit, but like that shit and some other stuff.
I don't think you can handle the panties. Have I ever shown you Nobody's Watching Wrestling? I've told you about it, I think.
I don't think so. I don't recall that.
It's two drag queens and their DJ.
Oh, yeah. You told me about that.
And they fucking love the women's division. They're great. It's great to have a different kind of point of view about a thing you like. Especially a point of view of a group of people that you don't necessarily think would like immediately go, oh yeah, they're connected. But to hear them talk about it, it's like, no, wrestling is just drag with more implicit violence.
Okay, I don't know much about drag, but I'll take your word for it.
It's about the pageantry and the presentation and being bigger than life. But then they actually fight. Okay. That's the way, from the way they describe it, it feels like that. So they're really cool. They're really cool. So
all
next thing, badass moment ending in shit. Yeah. So Raw happens. It's a Raw show. It's a 3 it's a nothing. It's 2.5. It's a eh. And then the last segment happens, and then it goes like, ooh, this is good. But it's not really a Raw segment. It's a SmackDown segment. So
yeah, because it was Becky Lynch leading a SmackDown women's locker room invasion of Raw, which I generally enjoy because I didn't even realize I'll just go ahead and say it. The injury happened until I was on Twitter the next day. So they hit it pretty well if that was their intention.
No, she got an injury during that.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying like they managed not to make it really overt. Did
you not see the blood?
I did, dude. I straight up did not notice until the next day when Becky was tweeting about needing to see doctors and stuff like that.
Hot damn.
Um,
man, she was like bleeding out of her nose, like almost red mask.
Oh, well, I know. I mean, I know that now, having seen the footage back, but I didn't notice it at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Becky. Like the camera cut, and we saw Becky putting Ronda Rousey in an armbar, and it was awesome. Like she clearly didn't do any actual damage, but Ronda sold it pretty well, and like later was like pulling her punches on that arm. And then she ran out, and like Mexicans stood off with the rest of the Raw women's locker room, and then her team comes out of the audience and starts messing some ladies up, and then there's
Nia
like
Jax fucking potatoes, fucking Becky Lynch.
Yeah, and it was a thing. I enjoyed it. I thought it was like a good move for Becky's character. I thought that those women would do that with her during this time of the year, and led to some interesting, unintended, but some interesting character stuff.
Yeah. Fuck Nia Jax for not knowing how to properly throw her punch and hurting Becky Lynch like that, because we lost out on a great match.
True, but it also led to some good character stuff for Becky, and Nia, and apparently Becky encouraged her to do this backstage. Nia has just full on leaned into being a heel now. Like, yeah, that's right. I'm the one who injured Becky Lynch so bad she couldn't compete for 2 weeks. What are you gonna do about it? You think you can handle me? And I'm like,
I am fine with her. I'm fine with her taking that character choice. I am fine with her continuing doing that. I'm fine with WWE leaning into that. Just fucking have Nia Jax go back to fucking Florida to fucking train her some more, so that doesn't happen again.
Fair enough.
Like, I just don't want people to get hurt.
But at least it's not like when the Bellas fuck people up and they act like nothing happened.
Yeah, but like, and I blame Nia, but I also don't. I understand certain things, but like, she could have like held back. She full on clocked her.
Mm.
It was not like I'm throwing the punch and it just went in the wrong direction and it just looked bad. No, she full on threw an actual punch, planned to miss, and didn't. And it's just like,
Yeah, that does kind of suck.
You know. But that broken nose did more for Becky Lynch's fucking character than anything
Than the
else.
writers have?
Oh, fuck yeah. Like, hold on. There's just one picture, and I just love it to fucking death, of Becky Lynch going up the stairs right after her nose was busted in. And it's just like, that is wife material right there.
Yeah. Have I said this on the podcast yet? Becky Lynch is now my wrestling waifu. This event caused me to make that decision. Like, Asuka has gotten too mellowed out and too goofy recently for my taste. But Becky Lynch is just badass as fuck, and I would jump into bed with her in a heartbeat. So she's my wrestling waifu now.
But like, man, and it just sucks that she had to take a couple weeks off. It felt longer.
Yeah, it did, especially because she was like constantly updating on Twitter about it and saying like, I just can't wait to get out of this fucking operation so I can go off on Ronda Rousey.
Get me the fuck out of Dr. Jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
At least she wasn't injured that bad, and she's back now, and it's all good.
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be well, I don't know if I want to go there.
Yeah, at least she's not Daniel Bryaning. But great, all that kind of stuff. But that also leads into the next episode, because they realize, oh shit, you have a concussion.
You can't compete at Survivor Series in less than a week if you have a concussion. Charlotte, you're it.
Yeah. Did you hear the audience when she was going over everybody? It's like, cricket, cricket, cricket.
Oh, Asuka! Pick Asuka! Pick Asuka!
And then you have Like, imagine the shitstorm that would happen if Becky just went like, "All right, it's Asuka." Was the backstage. I was like,
Yeah.
we were supposed to pick Charlotte, but they wanted Asuka. Yeah, Charlotte, which I can kind of understand because
right, conniption in his seat over that. I think.
But I can kind of see why Becky as a character picked Charlotte because
here's the thing: is I thought she was either gonna pick Charlotte or Sonya. For some reason, I just felt like this
Sonya's
Becky Lynch
been
might
doing
be
really
Sonya.
good. I've been really impressed with Sonya.
Yeah, I
She's
keep
been
expecting
dope.
them to put her over more. Like this isn't on the topic list, so I'll talk about this. But this week they had a battle royal to determine who would be the third member of the SmackDown Women's TLC match, and I was like, before it even started, I was like, it's either going to be Sonya or Asuka, because Asuka is over as fuck, but Sonya is really cool, and she seems like she's proven herself a lot recently. And then it came down to those two, and I was like, holy shit, I was right. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Okay, Asuka, I get to see my old waifu fight my current waifu. That'll be neat.
Yeah, but like Sonya's just been looking really fucking good.
Yeah.
And like she now has a storyline for after TLC.
Yeah.
She can go up against Asuka and go like, "Hey, I almost beat you at the Battle Royale. Fight me, bitch."
Yeah. I got something to prove. I got to prove that I can beat the Empress tomorrow. I have to prove that Charlotte Flair isn't the only one who's ready for Asuka.
Yeah.
Assuming Charlotte is the one who takes Asuka out in the what do you call it, the
triple threat.
the TLC match.
Yeah, because it's Becky versus Charlotte versus Asuka.
Yeah.
And okay, since we're just talking about this whole series of events, let's just talk about them all right now and just skip it if we come back to another one later on.
Yeah. So I got out of my chair and I got out of my chair and cheered like a little kid when Becky hugged Charlotte. I was like, yes, you proved your point, and now you're gonna make good with your friend. That is how you do it. That is honor. That is a fucking honorable combatant, and I love that, and that makes you my waifu even harder now.
But the second Charlotte starts being a bitch, Becky calls her out on it. It's like, bitch, what the fuck you doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Charlotte's kind of
taking a little influence from certain Miss Lynch.
Yeah, she's having a bit of one of those heel turns they talk about right now.
Yeah, and it definitely feels a lot like, all right, if I can't get what I want, I'm just gonna do what I want.
Yeah, and backstage, I think it was definitely Becky and Charlotte going, okay, if we're gonna be friends in kayfabe again, I've got to be a little more like you. Okay.
And even then, they're not.
How do you want to do that? I'm gonna ask Vince if I can lose my shit at the Survivor Series match. Good luck with that.
But like all that kind of shit's going on. I like how all the women's division were like, "Hey, you keep giving shit to Charlotte and Becky Lynch. Can we proven ourselves time and time again? Give us a chance."
Yeah, and I felt that. I felt that really strong.
Yeah, but like we got a really good battle royale out of it. It's fucking dope.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny how they've had like 3 battle royales in the last month and a half, and like each one has been progressively better, even though you can clearly tell that backstage they're like, we're kind of done with battle royales. Can we stop?
Yeah. Also, this triple threat TLC match is the first women's TLC match.
Is it? I had no idea.
Yeah, they only mentioned it twice instead of 1,000 times.
I'm genuinely surprised Stephanie McMahon hasn't come out every week and made a huge fucking deal out of it.
Because she's on Raw, not on SmackDown. If this was on Raw, they'd be going, this is the first ever women's TLC match. But because it's on SmackDown,
they're like, hey, story.
It's subtle. And Todd Phillips just went like twice and said, this is the first ever women's TLC match.
Mm-hmm.
And then was going like, this battle royale to determine who's going to be the third member of the triple threat for the first women's TLC match. And that's all they mentioned. It's like, thank you. Mention that it's important. Mention that it's the first.
But don't beat
her
us
head.
over the head. Don't Sam Raimi with great power comes great responsibility it.
Yeah. Like, oh man, this just whole storyline with Becky Lynch has been golden and is the best storyline going in WWE right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a women's storyline. It's like, oh man, that's great.
It's quite good.
But oh man, just Becky's great.
Yeah, have you been following her Twitter?
I've been seeing the tweets on Squared Circle on the subreddit.
She is like a little kid in a YouTube comments section. She is just talking shit to everybody who remotely looks at her wrong, and I love it.
That's the best. That's the best. Oh man, thank God they're actually treating her right now.
Mm-hmm.
Though I do kind of miss the goggles.
Yeah, but I think they're a little too goofy and kiddish for what she's going for.
I know, but like,
she definitely does need something new that's like a definitive piece of Becky Lynch merch that you can market real well, besides shirts that just say the man on them. Yeah. Which those shirts are cool.
I love it. I love the throwback.
It only really works if Becky herself is wearing it.
I love how they're kind of like a throwback. They look like early Attitude Era shirts, like the Awesome 316.
It looks like a Stone Cold shirt.
Yeah, she's Stone Cold Becky Lynch right now. She's Stone Cold Straight Fire.
Yeah.
So that's all cool. It's just, this is a great storyline, and I'm happy it's on SmackDown and getting the shit it needs.
Yeah. As I said on Twitter the other day, Becky Lynch could punch me in the face right now, and my reaction would be to say thank you for the autograph.
No, see, here's the thing. If Becky Lynch punched me in the face, I'd go, thank you. Can I have some more?
I'm just not that much of a glutton for punishment, and also I have a low pain threshold.
But we've gushed enough over Becky Lynch and our love of her.
Mm-hmm.
So, Daniel Bryan is our new WWE champion.
And he's fucking turned heel as well.
Yeah, but Daniel Bryan...
all the champions. Just make all the champions heels. Let's do it.
Yeah, but Becky's a tweener. She's a heely face.
Yeah. And I'd say, and Daniel is definitely genuine heel now, especially because he came out to the ring the night after Survivor Series and crawled down the entrance ramp like he was fucking Gollum. I loved that.
And no yes chant.
Yeah. I also love that his heel gear is just him in his casual clothes.
We haven't seen like full wrestle gear yet, though.
That's true, I suppose. But I kind of hope he's just always going to come out to the ring like that now. And when he wrestles, he'll just be in jeans and shoes. Like he'll pull an Elias. No,
I think he's gonna kind of go back to a classic style, because he was a heel in Ring of Honor. I think it was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he wasn't always a babyface. He was a heel predominantly more before he came to WWE.
Interesting.
He was very much the kind of character of like, I'm good, you're not, fuck you.
Okay, and it seems like that's where he's going with this. Is like,
oh, yeah.
I've tried to be nice, I've tried to be good, but I am genuinely worth something, and I'm sick and tired of getting treated like I'm not, so fuck you.
Yeah, but like the way he frames it is very interesting. The way he frames it is much more in a, I'm going to fight for my dreams no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
If I get at my dreams being a good guy, then I'll be a good guy, but I wasn't getting them. So the base want of getting what I want took over, and it just happened. I didn't intentionally want to do it. I didn't go in there thinking, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I saw the opportunity, and I was like, oh, shit.
As I described it to you while I was watching it, it feels like his whole mental process during that SmackDown segment where he was just beating the shit out of AJ Styles after their match was like he's just going, I have tried the honey again and again. It didn't work. It's time to break out the vinegar. But
I don't think it was like conscious. That's the biggest thing. I think it was very like subconscious of like just id coming out. It's just like, okay, I got his hands. Stomp. Yeah, stomp. Bump, 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 bump.
Yeah, it's very animalistic.
And then later on, he went like, right, this is why I'm like this is in explaining it. He was also explaining it to himself Like
Yeah, I can see that.
when he came back and did his like, this is why I did it. It felt very much of like kind of like processing it all for us and himself. Also, I damn near guarantee he's gonna try and get fickle over.
Fickle.
Yeah, during his heel promo after Survivor Series, he just went fickle.
Oh yeah. Okay, I forgot about that. I could see that being a chant, like fickle. Stomp.
I don't think it's too wordy to be a chant. I think it could definitely be on like a T-shirt or something.
Yeah,
but like it's very interesting, and also he framed how him kind of still being a babyface versus Brock Lesnar in Survivor Series was basically him going like, yeah, that was just me like getting the last bit of that out, which is great fucking character work and everything.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that match now, or wait and just do all of Survivor Series together?
We'll do all Survivor Series together, so it's all together. But
yeah, heel Daniel has just been a really good breath of fresh air, I think.
Oh yeah, and I love how creepy heel Daniel can smile.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looks like there's supposed to be kindness in their in his eyes, but there's none.
Yeah, it's genuinely unnerving. It's like the best villain smiles. It's up there with like Hannibal Lecter in them.
And I love how his smile is his fucking photo for whenever they're doing like hype packages.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody else is like Stone Cold, I'm looking like a badass, and Daniel Bryan's just like, hi, I'm Daniel Bryan.
Exactly like that. That's exactly how he says his name. Hi, I'm Daniel Bryan.
Hi, I'm Daniel Bryan. I'm gonna kick your face. The next thing we're gonna talk about is a bit of news, not necessarily featuring WWE.
News? We do news now? Do you have the news for the news show? I'm referencing a Victor Collins video.
News, week-old news. 2-week-old news. So, you know the Young Bucks?
I know of them.
You know Cody Rhodes?
Generally.
You know the Kenny Omegas?
I've heard of him.
Well, they're in a little thing called the Elite.
Okay.
And just recently, they put on a pay-per-view. Sold out 10,000 seats. First wrestling promotion to do that since WCW that wasn't under Vince McMahon. Okay? So this is the first time a wrestling show got that many seats that didn't have the name Vince McMahon attached to it in quite some time.
Interesting.
So really fucking good news. Fucking good. So there was already rumors of a second one. And Cody announced that, if we do a second one, it's going to be called Double or Nothing. Mm-hmm. All Out, Double or Nothing. It makes sense.
You're referring to All In, right?
Yes, All In.
Yeah, okay, I watched that.
So recently, a couple trademarks started flying into the trademark people being applied and everything, and people started taking notice. Specifically, the fact that some of them were called All Elite Wrestling. There was a couple trademarks for All Out. There were a couple trademarks for Double or Nothing, and all trademarked and all seemingly related to the Elite.
Interesting.
So right now, the thought is that that whole group is going to start their own wrestling promotion with the backing of the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who is a billionaire.
Remind me again, what sport is that team?
American football.
Okay.
Yeah. And Jacksonville Jaguars is one of those teams that also goes overseas to do exhibition matches, and they fill out Wembley Stadium.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna get a competitor to WWE. Yeah,
and it seems like a pretty crazy big, interesting one that you're probably going to be able to go to shows for, assuming they're not going to be traveling around a whole lot.
Especially because Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, that's what I meant by that. You're not in Orlando, but you're in the Orlando area, and it's not far from Jacksonville, not relatively speaking.
Yeah, I'm the same distance from Orlando as I am from Jacksonville.
Nice. And am I wrong, or are Chris Jericho and JR not rumored to be involved with this?
The best way to put it is how to describe it. People think they aren't going to be major competitors or big part of it, but they are going to lend their brain and knowledge.
Interesting, because there was a recent, or not recent, but like a little while ago, there was a segment on the Ross Report where JR sort of, or no, it wasn't on the Ross Report, it was on Stone Cold's podcast. JR was guesting on that, and he was talking about how he feels like wrestling has devolved a lot, and there's a lot of stuff from the old days that should be reincorporated back in. Like, he doesn't like closed fists. He feels like refs should be more at the forefront, and he feels like managers and mentors should be traveling around in cars with the talent. And I'm like, that's a little too old school, set in your ways for my taste, but I can see where you're coming from there.
I agree with the closed fist. I think closed fist should be held more for later on matches or bigger matches.
And it would make for a very interesting promotion in the modern landscape. I don't know if it would work very well, or rather if it would sell very well, because I feel like a lot of people would feel like it was a little too old school, and I don't know if a lot of talent would be into the idea of sitting in a car for a long time with somebody they may not know all that well in an era where they no longer have to. Yeah, I doubt he'll implement all those things, but I would not be surprised if like one or two of them make it into this.
Yeah, but also you got to notice when people ask Chris Jericho about it, he said, "No, I'm not a part of any of that." And when Chris Jericho says no, that usually means yes. Because he's like, he thinks he's really good at lying, but he's not.
Oh dear.
Like, we know, like, fans have picked up on, like, if he says no, it means more likely than not, yeah. Or it could be no, but.
So does that mean I'm not on the list?
No, you are on the list. That's
crap.
Yeah, he fucking hates your guts. Right up there with Kevin Owens.
Oh, dang.
So let's. And the rumors are that it's not going to be anything until like late 2019 or early 2020. So it's still a bit off before anything like concrete starts happening with it.
Yeah, but still, it should be interesting to see how this develops.
Oh yeah, especially because there is rumors that when this thing gets up on going, 2 WWE talents are fucking booking. They're going to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
you have predictions of that, right?
I have predictions for one of them, and that one person's Finn Balor.
Yeah. Poor
Like,
Finn Balor.
Like, oh man. Especially
I did not mean this to be a
especially
pun, but Finn has gotten a raw deal in the last little while.
Oh yeah, and it definitely makes sense because they were both on. They were all on Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So, it kind of feels like he'd like it there. So, back to WWE.
Yeah.
Specifically NXT Takeover War Games 2 happened, and it was glorious.
So do you want to do it together, or am I going to have to do it on my own?
You can do it because I'm not sure what you're fucking talking about.
Okay. NXT!
You have very poor rhythm.
I have the worst rhythm, but I still try.
Oh man, NXT is the shining golden nugget in the middle of the shit.
Yeah, this was quite.
SmackDown is the silver.
I'm sorry?
NXT is the shiny piece of gold in the shit. SmackDown's the silver.
Yeah.
Some weeks it's bronze. More often it's silver.
And the Canellises are like the platinum microbe.
But oh man, this whole thing was just fucking golden. Especially with Matt Riddle, bro. In the beginning, bro.
Completely unexpectedly just coming out and cutting a promo on Cassius Ohno, and then them having a quick match. That was great.
A quick match.
It it was less of a match and more of like
This is why Matt Riddle's awesome showcase.
yeah. So
did you hear what Triple H was asked? So about that Matt Riddle match, he basically said, "Yeah, I couldn't say anything, or else like people would get fucking pissed at how short it was. I couldn't announce the Matt Riddle match because they would expect a good Matt Riddle match when I was just doing this quick little segment to get you introduced to him. So that's why it was a surprise."
Nice idea.
Yeah. So like, good booking, good promoting Triple H.
It's almost like you should be in charge of a company.
Oh God, I cannot wait for XFL to take over Vince's life so he can leave WWE.
Yeah, I want to. But somebody should just make an edit of Triple H footage of him singing "I Just Can't Wait to Be King."
God damn it! I know what I'm fucking doing as the intro.
Dude, that would take like 3 hours.
No, it won't.
To do the whole song, it would.
I'm just gonna do like a 5-second thing.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna track the head.
Oh, you're gonna do that kind of thing. I was talking about like editing things he's actually said.
No, I'm just gonna. But the first, let's quickly run down some of the card. We had Kyrie Sane.
I don't remember everything, and I certainly don't remember the order. So you just bring things up, and I'll say what I have to say.
Okay, first things was Kyrie Sane versus Shayna Baszler for the women's title, and Shayna Baszler had her buddies fucking distract Kyrie Sane, and our pirate princess does not have her treasure, and it's bullshit.
It was an okay match.
Fuck you, Kyrie Sane.
Kyrie Sane had some allies come out this time.
Io Ashari and Dakota Kai.
Yeah, that was cool. It was generally just okay. Like there was maybe 1 or 2 spots I got excited over, and I want Kyrie to have her title. Shayna's been the champion for long enough, damn it.
Yeah. Dakota Kai was great, and Io Ashari with the fucking moonsault.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
Her moonsault looked fucking gorgeous. It was great. Next would be, I'm pretty sure it was Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black.
Great match. Really great match. Wonderful match.
Great character work, too. Especially like near the end, right before Aleister Black did the second Black Mass to put him away. He's just holding Johnny's head and just goes, "I absolve you of all your sins." And it's like, oh.
I like how this isn't like going to be a continuing thing. It was just, look, we have a problem. Let's settle it here and be done with it, like men. And also beat the shit out of each other while we're at it.
Oh, but like it's so much of like Johnny putting this current theory of himself onto the mat to like test it to prove it, and it almost
doesn't prove it.
And it almost works, and like Aleister Black just basically goes like, "Yeah, no, you're not the darkness. You can't go that way. I can, because I'm like, that's part of me.
You can taste the darkness, but you are not the darkness."
No. And you do not believe in a thing called love. You cannot listen to the rhythm of your heart. There is a chance we can make it now.
God damn
it. You actually got a music reference.
Of course, dude, that song is like, that's an institution.
Give me a D. Give me an R.
Okay, Dean Ambrose.
Oh, no, we still got some more games left.
I know, but you said give me a D, and that was the first wrestler name that starts with a D that popped into my head.
No, give me a D. Now give me an Arkness.
Uh-huh.
What does that spell? Darkness. Next on the War Games 2 card is the NXT Championship, Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream.
Oh, I forgot about this match. This match was amazing.
Oh, of course it was. It's Velveteen Dream and Tommaso Ciampa.
It was, well, I can only describe it how Velveteen Dream would describe it. It was an experience.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, man, there were so many good moments in it, especially Dream coming out, Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah, I
love how part of his gimmick is just trying to piss Hogan off.
Mm-hmm.
It's for, like, I'm going to come out in all of your themes and gear. And
I like how it can be taken that way, but it can also be taken as he's just a Hulk Hogan fan.
He's not a Hulk Hogan fan. You know why.
Yeah.
Because Hulk Hogan was the guy who sent him home packing on Tough Enough.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like...
And Hulk Hogan said the N-word.
Yep. So it's just like, hey, I'm a black dude, and he wronged me. I'ma fuck with him.
Mm-hmm. I like how this constantly has just made the same meme pop up over and over again of picture of Velveteen Dream walking out in Hulk Hogan gear, picture of Hulk Hogan spray painting the N-word.
Yeah. Also, great moment near the end where Mario Ranallo, that's not his name, you know who I'm talking about.
Mamma Mia guy.
Yeah, Mamma Mia. Here we go again. Is backing away from the table and announcing, and his go-to for Tommaso Ciampa is the son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Tommaso Ciampa, the son of a bitch. And Tommaso Ciampa's right there, and he just grabs some papers and throws it at him, and he's like, and Mamma Mia, it just looks at us like, what the fuck? Don't fucking hit me. What the fuck you doing, bro?
Yeah.
It's like genuinely like, did I fuck up? Did I go too far?
Have I ever told you about my idea for a wrestler debut?
What?
One of the things I've always wanted to see happen is just like a wrestler to debut by being an announcer on a show for a few weeks, or a commentator, I guess is the correct term, for a few weeks. And then on an episode of that show, a wrestler puts another wrestler through the announce table, and he just goes, you know, I was using that. Screw you. I'm in this match now. And then they're just a wrestler from now on.
If he ever wrestled, his theme song has to be Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
But oh man, that was a good match. And then we had the final match of the night, the second War Games, which was just
Oh my god. This might be my favorite NXT match. Like, I didn't have a favorite before, but like this is on a whole other level from anything I've ever seen from WWE.
It's almost as if they care.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as if they want to put on a good show.
And did you see Ricochet on Twitter the night after with Matt Hardy?
No, what?
Matt Hardy tweeted out the gif of Ricochet jumping into everybody off of the cage, and he said, "Ah, yes, it seems there is another member of the WWE coming up who has quite the severe addiction." And then Ricochet's just like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking." And then he's like, "No, it's good at your age. Feed into it."
You're young, you can get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we need another Matt Hardy special soon.
Yeah. Also,
are we getting a Christmas special?
I don't know. But another great Matt thing that isn't on our card for this episode. He's been teasing becoming Raw general manager on Twitter.
That'd be fucking dope.
That's got me really excited.
Honestly, that'd be one of the best things that could happen to Raw, and might make me tempted to watch it, but like only literally the Hardy highlights.
Like literally the night after Braun Strowman got assaulted, he was like, "Seems like you guys got a pretty dirty Raw general manager going on right now at WWE. You might want to fix that up by putting somebody a little more, shall we say, woken in the position."
Oh god, just imagine the specialty matches he would set up.
Yeah.
Ah yes, Finn Balor. Ah yes, Baron Corbin.
And you just know, like, Vanguard 1 or somebody would be his personal assistant.
Quick, Vanguard 1. Go get me the Strowman and have him come to me. Oh man, but like, you will be fighting. I can't think of a crazy enough fucking match that Matt would make. I can't. I'm not Matt. I can't think of something like that.
You're not woken yet.
Yeah, no.
We'll get you there.
I ain't even broken, brah.
We'll get you there. Don't worry. There's plenty of time.
But a lot of just great moments in this War Games match that they are already milking, and they're just like great visuals, like the two teams coming to the middle of the ring and just like snapping and clawing at each other.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
But it's just, that's immediate. That's all you have to show whenever they want to promote a War Games match. just put that clip out and you just see, oh yeah, that's badass.
That or just Ricochet jumping off the cage into everybody, which was amazing. My jaw hit the floor when that happened. Because he starts climbing, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. He's probably going to jump from a little high up. That'll be neat. And then he keeps going, and he gets to the top, and I'm like, no, he's not going to do that. Ricochet's not that crazy. He's not. Oh, look at his legs. Look at his. Oh, he did it. Ricochet really did it. He really killed himself.
Oh, man. Mamma mia.
Indeed.
Oh, that just NXT. NXT fills my heart with joy. All right, back to the shit. Let's eat our veggies. WWE Chronicle, Dean Ambrose.
So I actually liked this quite a bit.
I didn't watch it. I saw clips.
It's a neat little. It's a WWE Chronicle episode. It's a neat little
Is it like the Shinsuke Nakamura one?
I don't know about that because it's so much more about Dean's recovery and the reasons he turned heel instead of just the fact he turned heel.
Do you mean the reasons that they completely thrown out of Raw and just made Dean Ambrose a germaphobe? Fuck Raw.
I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, this last episode, he was in a fucking doctor's office getting a fucking vaccination. And just going like,
okay, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit dumb. But yeah, I generally really like this. I finally felt like I understood where Dean's character was coming from because I was not in the silly kayfabe why Dean why kind of way, but I was just kind of like, okay, what's going on here? Why has he done this exactly? And because Raw is Raw, it didn't do its job and it actually explained that to me, I feel. But this made things clear, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what you're going for. All right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into this rivalry now, or this feud.
And then Raw fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Survivor Series.
It was okay.
It got bad in places, though.
Yeah.
The men's Survivor Series match.
I mean, like, let's just be honest. The highlight of the night was Ronda versus Charlotte.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I liked the heel turn was awesome. It was a great like moment of her just going like, yeah, I've got to do what Becky would do to win this, and then she comes out next week and Becky's like, yeah, that's not what I would have done, but you know what, good job.
Good enough job. Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar was fucking good. I like that.
That was a hell of a main event, like.
Oh yeah.
And just so much better than I was expecting it to be because like.
Oh, but admit it, that first 5 minutes you were going like, oh, fuck.
Maybe a little, but
Not
like
the shit. But then the knee shot, then the fucking ball shot happens. I was like, yeah.
I was still in the AJ versus Brock mind place, and I was like, that seems pretty boring to me. I mean, I like AJ generally, but he's not interesting enough to hold a match against Brock Lesnar. I don't know.
But then you watch it and it's like, oh my god, this is good.
Are you talking about his first match?
AJ versus Brock Lesnar is like, oh, that's a great match.
I have not actually seen that match, so I'll have to go back and watch it at some point. But like,
really good.
That's how I thought this match was going to be. And then Daniel got changed, and I was like, okay, it's interesting. He's going to go into it without any setup. What's this going to be like? And then it was just really awesome. It was just more of him beating the shit out of AJ.
Yeah. But like the first AJ Brock Lesnar match was like really, really good. Like there was one moment that is just brilliant. AJ had Brock in a calf crusher.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh yeah, that's great. And Brock's selling it. He looks like he's in pain. He's like doing a really good job. Brock Lesnar just reaches back, grabs AJ's head, slam.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, that's a great way to counter that. It's such a Brock Lesnar way of doing it too. It's great.
Yeah.
But also Shinsuke versus Rollins was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good match. I couldn't get over how bad Shinsuke's gear was.
Oh,
It's like
fuck.
I got what he was going for. I think the undersuit is generally okay, but because of the fact that he had a blue SmackDown shirt on over it, I just couldn't stop thinking that he looked like he had just walked off the set of Scrubs.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad he's gone back to the red outfit in the most recent episode of Raw.
Yeah, yeah.
Or SmackDown. He's on SmackDown. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
he's a SmackDown boy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do my boy dirty. Don't do my boy dirty like that. I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh yeah, the worst fucking thing happened.
What was that?
Drake Maverick pissed himself.
Oh, no, let's save that for later because we've got a topic just about that.
Yeah, but we need to bring it up that the first instance of it happened here.
Yeah, and that's all I want to say at the moment. I will say I'm generally upset that SmackDown didn't get a single win. It's
They
okay
got
for
one.
Raw, but it didn't count. It was a pre-show win.
It counts to me, damn it, because it was the Usos.
Yeah.
Usos are great.
Like, I'm fine with Raw winning overall, but SmackDown needed to get at least one or two individual wins in my opinion.
Apparently, it's supposed to be leading to a storyline where Shane turns heel.
Oh, great! Because I want more Shane McMahon in my life. That's just what WWE needs right now.
Yeah, more McMahons.
Mm-hmm. More McMahons by birth.
Oh dear God, Shane McMahon's kids are getting old enough that they can probably, some of them can probably start going to wrestling school. We're just gonna be in like more McMahon.
We're gonna get a lot of early Stephanie type segments, I bet.
God, Shane has all sons.
That doesn't mean they can't be bratty heels.
No, but Shane was always the like face of the McMahon family.
That's true.
He was always the baby face.
Ugh, I don't know if I'm okay with him going out as a heel then, because this will probably be his last full-time run.
Oh no, it's just a lot of bullshit. Apparently, he's supposed to be turning heel, and the Miz is supposed to be going face, and they're gonna have to fight each other. Like,
oh, that is dumb. Fuck that. I do not want to see the Miz as a face. No.
I'm gonna play the smallest of devil's advocate. If they just make it he's a face for this one match and the character's the same and he's just the good guy for here and Shane McMahon's a good guy in general but he's the bad guy for here, I'm okay with that. One match, fine, but don't fucking turn him into a good guy permanently.
I guess. And like Mike Mizanin is a great worker. He's a good worker. He's not a great worker, but he's
a great worker because of his mic work.
Mm-hmm. He might be able to pull it off, but the thing is, I just don't like that idea. It's going to take a lot of good selling to get me behind that idea.
Oh, I feel you. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm not trying to say it's going to be good. I'm just saying that could be their thought process.
Indeed.
All right. Next thing, I didn't watch it. WWE 365 AJ Styles.
So this is really fun. It's just kind of like a greatest hits of AJ Styles from the last year with a few extra never before seen segments thrown in. It was neat getting to see like his perspective and learn a little bit more about Japanese wrestling. I liked the bit where they went to that like noodle restaurant that apparently every Japanese wrestler eats at least once. And I like that they threw in the bit from Retro Styles where he buys the Atari Jaguar and feels kind of guilty about it.
I need to watch it. It sounds fun.
Yeah, and there was some good stuff with him at home with the family. Just like it's supposed to be kind of in kayfabe, kind of a shoot. But all the stuff at home felt very real, very natural, and just made me more into than I ever have been the angle with him where it's like I'm just a regular guy with a wife and kids who is doing a job because he's good at it. And like I know I understand people saying that's too bland and they don't like it. But
AJ doesn't make it bland. He makes it work.
To quote To quote Captain Logan of Geekvolution, you can make anything work, you just have to make it work. And in my opinion, AJ makes it work more often than not. And this was a pretty good make it work place.
Oh yeah. So I
And
guess
that's pretty much all I have to say.
I guess I gotta watch it now.
Yeah, it's worth like have it on in another tab while you're doing something.
Next thing up, Braun Strowman got an injury, so they did an angle on Raw to get him off so he can go get some bone spurs.
He didn't get an injury. This injury happened by accident.
No. Dude, he's going to surgery to get bone spurs taken care of out of his elbow. The angle, the whole beatdown on Raw was to hide it in kayfabe.
Really? I thought it was an accident.
No, dude.
I thought it was the same thing as Becky. Okay.
No. He already was injured, and they did that to write him off for a little bit so he can get it taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have put it on the list if I had known that, but it's still a good segment.
Yeah. But it's also important because Braun's now on the shelf for maybe TLC. So we don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, he's already had his surgery because I follow him on Twitter and I don't know how I missed this. But he's out of surgery now and is healing up generally well, so he could be back for like an appearance at TLC, but I don't know if he probably won't be in a match at least till the next pay-per-view.
Because he was supposed to have a match TLC against Baron Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
And if Braun won, he'd get his Universal title match. And if Baron won, he'd become permanent GM.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the full plan, but bone spurs in his elbow.
Shit happens, bro.
Yep. Do you want to talk about the next thing now or in a little bit more?
No, I think it's bad enough and it's a big enough part of the show that it deserves its own discussion.
Okay, so we'll put it after the Jeff Hardy thing.
Okay, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, it fit there, and then we can go into the other ancillary things.
Okay, so we've already talked about the Charlotte Flair bit, so we should probably skip that too.
Yep. Thanksgiving feast fight, where the New Day.
This match was so much fun.
Yeah, it was fun. But New Day beat our SmackDown champions, making them look like jokes.
Yeah. It's a bit unfortunate that happened to the Bar, but like it was still so much fun of a match that I didn't mind it. And like it's worked for the Bar because on Twitter they've been saying stuff like, we're gonna do an open challenge on one of the next episodes to anyone except the New Day because we're done screwing around with the New Day. Nobody wants more of that.
Yeah.
In direct reference to this match, and I'm like, no, I want this every year now. This was super fun. Like, I know there are some people who just aren't into food fights, but if you get creative with a food fight, it's not just people throwing food across a room at each other. I can enjoy it. And I really enjoyed this.
Big E punched him with a turkey.
Mm-hmm.
But a big thing that fell out from this is the Bar split off from the Big Show because he wasn't there to help them.
Yep.
That was pointless, Big Show being there.
It's almost like WWE just brought him up to put his name on the marquee and get some more butts in the seat.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe they had a bigger plan for Big Show, but then they changed their mind.
Maybe. I doubt it.
Yeah. But next, Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. It is 2005 all over again.
And I so don't care. It was such a fun main event. Like it's just a solid match that like doesn't feel like it should be a main event in this day and age, but was good enough that I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like Randy got some good spots in. Ray was just the flippiest motherfucker you ever saw in your life.
And even then,
he is in general, but like he's great this match.
Yeah, and he's had to slow down a lot of his flippy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because now he does like a seal thing going under the bottom rope when he would used to go over the top.
Yeah, I've definitely got to go back and watch some more old Rey Mysterio stuff because like I lose my mind every time he gets going in a match nowadays. So I have no idea what my reaction to some of his older stuff would be, because he's probably a lot quicker and a lot more high flying back then.
Oh yeah, but also like him doing that seal thing into an RKO. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh man, it's great. And Randy Orton fucking ripping the mask off. It's great. And
it worked really well. It
and
allowed
WWE
for
staff immediately putting a towel over Rey Mysterio's head when his mask fell off.
like we've never seen his face before.
You do know that he was unmasked in WCW, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen the pictures.
God damn, he has a baby face.
It's like I won't say he's ugly, but it is a good thing Rey Mysterio wears a mask, because it makes his facial features work to his advantage. Like, he looks like he has these beady little snake eyes. Oddly enough, for somebody facing Randy Orton, but when he has his mask off, he just looks like looks like a dude who you'd see in the background of a prison movie.
Yeah, but
I do like that this whole storyline with Randy going after him and being like lucha wrestling is stupid has allowed for 205 to get a little more involved with the main roster, because friggin' Mike Kanellis, the night after this match aired, tweeted at Randy Orton, and, hey, I heard you've gotten into lucha hunting recently. If you ever want some help, I know a few people. And I'm like, yeah, do it. Crossover episode.
See, here's the thing. I don't think Randy's going after Rey because he's lucha, especially because this week he stated, no, I'm not. I respect Lucha Libre. Just fuck Rey Mysterio. I think it's this is me looking really deep into Randy Orton's character, because right now what he's been doing is he attacked Jeff Hardy and he's attacked Rey Mysterio, two guys who are known for putting masks on and being fan favorites. I think Randy Orton's character right now is going through a realization that he is now one of those legends that he used to kill, and he is feeling uncomfortable with that fact.
Possibly.
You know, like, because Randy Orton was the legend killer. He went after the top dogs. But Randy Orton's 40 years old now. He is one of the top dogs. He is old guard.
He's a fucking mid-card workhorse.
Yeah. And he just doesn't know how to take that. So he's just going like, no, I'm angry at Jeff Hardy. Why am I angry at Jeff Hardy? It's not because he reminds me of me. It's because he hides his face and lies about it and just does the stuff for the fans. All right, now I've beaten Jeff Hardy. I'm still angry. What am I angry at? Oh, I'm angry at Rey Mysterio because he wears a mask and does a similar thing to Jeff Hardy. Yeah, I'm going to attack Rey Mysterio now. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I kind of hope they go in that direction. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, maybe have it end in Randy Orton having a come to Jesus moment / retirement speech.
Oh man, just imagine like those last few moments of just Triple H coming out to Randy Orton, and he goes, and Randy's just asking, why, what's going on? I can't, why am I still angry? Why I don't know, like, because
WWE isn't the place for you anymore. And that's okay.
And Triple H just goes, Randy, you're the legend killer, but you are a legend. You can't kill yourself. And it's just like, basically his entire existence now is a contradiction. He's a legend killer, but he is a legend. So ultimately, he has to kill himself in order to fulfill the original idea of who Randy Orton was.
Imagine his last match is just a surrealist match that's him having a match with himself.
Oh, dude, no, like, bring up a new guy who's kind of Randy Orton-esque.
Oh, that would be such a good bookend, because the whole point of him was he was being introduced and trained by a legend and a current guy.
Oh, just like, no, like, imagine someone like Adam Cole or Roderick Strong. No, you know who should be?
Who?
Tommaso Ciampa. Vicious, angry, deadly, great wrestler, great movement. And Tommaso Ciampa just comes up and goes like, Randy Orton, you're a legend. You're big. and like you're like all this different stuff, but I'm better. I am gonna kill you. And Randy Orton's incredulous, like, who the hell are you? I'm the legend killer. I don't kill nothing. I don't go after nothings. And then Tommaso Ciampa just goes like, all right, and just starts doing the same kind of tactics Randy Orton did in his early days. And Randy's getting like, what the fuck is going on? And then he just loses against Tommaso Ciampa in like this big match. And he's like angry, and he's like RKOing refs that are coming in and trying to get him away from the ring and doing all this kind of stuff. He's lashing out. And then finally Triple H has to come out and goes like, Randy. And he has to gets him back down.
Like he pulls him off of Tommaso.
Yeah. And then, and Randy's just going like, why am I angry? He just can't figure it out.
Oh, you know what? That would be really great thematically too, because if you've watched the have you seen the documentary Triple H Thy Kingdom Come?
No.
There's a moment in that where they're talking about the early days of Evolution, and Randy says, one of the best things anyone has ever done for me is when I was just getting started in WWE, I would get so wound up and so angry sometimes, and I would just be sitting on the side of a stage or something fuming, and Hunter would just come up to me and go, Randy, it's okay. This is gonna pass.
But just have the realization, Randy comes to a realization of like, I've been lashing out because part of me is just incompatible with what I am now. And that could be a retirement, or that could just be, all right, this is just who I am. And he just goes on for a little bit longer being a mid-card guy.
Yeah, that's some great fantasy booking there.
Modular Media Wrestling Podcast, damn near guarantee we're going to get at least one fantasy booking episode.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of which, do you want to do some more?
Sure, go ahead.
Because Lars Sullivan is getting called up, and that's all we know so far. We have no idea what show he's going to, what the angle's going to be. Just, he is a big dude, and he's not going to be in NXT pretty soon.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he'd fit better on the main roster than he would on NXT.
True.
Like, I like Lars Sullivan. He's a cool looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
He has a he has a horrible lisp.
What do you think they're going to do with him now? Well, let me rephrase that. What do you want them to do with him, and then what do you think they'll do with him?
Okay. First immediate gut response of what they might do with him. Oh, he goes up against Braun Strowman. Big guy.
Yeah.
Duh. What I think would be interesting if he goes to NXT and he goes up against Samoa Joe. Because they're both big guys.
You mean SmackDown, right? Because you said
SmackDown.
NXT.
Yeah, SmackDown. He goes in. Fuck me. He goes to SmackDown and goes up against Samoa Joe. Here's the reason: they are both big guys, both big, strong, muscle dudes. But here's the thing: you tend to forget until they start talking. They are both extremely intelligent. They are both very and you basically play the feud like a chess game, where Samoa Joe and Lars Sullivan are like getting pawns and are putting them in matches, and it becomes very cerebral. Like he teams up, like Lars Sullivan teams up with the Bar, and like he just uses them as backup and shit. And it's like and like all that kind of stuff. And then like Samoa Joe like buddies up with like the Usos, and they put the Usos and the Bar against each other and kind of like Cold War, like proxy war kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like be very smart and cerebral with it until eventually it's like they're facing up against each other, and goes like, I know I can beat you. And really? Because I know I can beat you. Yeah, but come on, I got the better plan. Oh, you don't need a plan against. I don't need a plan against you. You're too simple. Me? Simple? And it's very intellectual and high-minded. And Samoa Joe's kind of like that's a heel versus heel match. Oh, yeah. But like make Samoa Joe kind of a tweener face for that.
Okay.
That's what I'd want. Just because I was like, oh yeah, some like intelligence.
Yeah. I definitely think that would be interesting. So here's what I think they're going to do. I agree that they're probably going to send him to SmackDown. But what I think they're gonna do with him on SmackDown is they're gonna have him go up against Daniel Bryan for the WWE title. And they're gonna take the angle of he underestimates Daniel Bryan and is like, ha, I just came out of NXT and took down all these big scary dudes, and I'm a big scary dude, and you're just a little dude. What can you do? And then Daniel Bryan just fucks him up, and he has to go to someone else for a little while. Because it makes sense for him to be on SmackDown because he'll add something to that show. He will be a big muscly guy in a show of mostly like mid-sized muscly guys and skinny guys and one big fat guy. I'm not saying that derogatorily towards Samoa Joe. I'm just saying that like that's his general body type.
Samoa Joe is fuck all fat.
Yeah.
Like there's fat and then there's fat and then there's fuck all fat.
I think they'll do is they will send him to Raw and they will make him Braun Strowman Jr.
I don't want
that. No. I'm sorry. I said what I think they'll do.
Yeah, that's what I know.
What I want them to do is send him to Raw and not make him Braun Strowman Jr., but make him Braun Strowman's best friend. Like, subvert our expectations of they're going to fight because they're two big guys and have it be like, hey, you're kind of cool. You're kind of cool yourself. We should team up. Yeah, let's go fuck Baron Corbin up.
And Lars Sullivan becomes the plan maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. I wouldn't be upset at that.
Yeah.
The man, Lars.
Yeah.
At least we still got some big dudes on NXT, like fucking War Raiders.
Yeah, it's amazing how long it's taken them to call up some of the faces of NXT. Like, I would have thought it was almost time for like either Alistair, Johnny, or Tommaso to go up, but they're still there. They still got shit to do.
Here's the thing. I think a lot of NXT wrestlers are kind of like trying to, like, Hunter's trying to keep them in NXT until he can take over everything, and then he goes like, all right, come on, it's safe now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I feel like half of the roster is just waiting for.
When Vince retires, because he's probably going to die in the saddle, when Vince goes to XFL and gives Hunter full control, do a segment on Raw about that happening, like literally have a passing of the torch segment at the end of an episode of Raw. Have the next episode of Raw open with the entire roster, men and women, assembled for like a welcoming ceremony for the new Triple H era of Raw, and then Triple H and Stephanie walk out and they start giving a speech, and then slowly they get more and more derogatory, and they get more and more mean and talk more and more about how Raw has been failing and Raw hasn't been living up to its title as the A show recently. And then they go, and because of this problem, we've brought some friends to whip you into shape. And then just like 5 or 6 NXT wrestlers run out and they're on the Raw roster now, and they beat the shit out of the rest of the roster.
It's only 4 wrestlers.
Who?
Undisputed Era.
Yeah, that could work. I would have gone with just like bring up all the current faces, all the people who have been on NXT the longest, so we can let some new people get the spotlight. But yeah, just bringing up Undisputed Era would be cool too.
But like maybe do an NXT invasion angle.
Yeah.
That'd be neat. I don't know. Like, part of me just feels like a lot of the wrestlers aren't fighting for themselves as hard because they know, and like soon Triple H is taking over, and they have a lot better conversations with him and can actually get shit done.
Yeah.
You know. All right. Next thing's up. WWE Starrcade, a house show that they recorded and sent out to people.
Well, it was just a really nice surprise. Like,
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it mainly because I knew it was kind of non-canon.
Yeah, it's not the biggest deal, but it's just like a cool little wink and a nod to the old days, and it was nice to see it come back. And like, nobody was expecting it. It was just on Raw. They went, oh yeah, and we're doing Starrcade on Thanksgiving, and we're like, what? Okay.
Excuse me?
And it was cool that they got Ric Flair back because he was on the very first Starrcade. He went and literally did the Ric Flair walk with Elias, which was awesome. There was a good cage match between Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, and some other stuff that I don't remember. I don't know. This was just cool for the novelty of it, and it's always fun to see Ric Flair back. That's my takeaway.
Yeah. But speaking of Samoa Joe, we have Jeff Hardy's 20-year SmackDown anniversary segment on this week's
20 years of WWE and Jeff Hardy in general, because I think they said it was 20 years to the day since he had originally signed.
That's kind of a misnomer because he technically wrestled his first WWE match in 1994.
Okay.
So technically 1994. It's been 24 years. But he first wrestled as Jeff Hardy in 1998.
Okay.
So depending on how you want to be, because I think he wrestled under a different name in 1994. So Jeff Hardy being Jeff Hardy, 1998 on.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm being pedantic asshole. I took that. I found that out from Wrestle Talk. Give credit where credit is due.
But this was a neat segment. I liked getting to see Jeff kind of have a moment of self-reflection and be like, yeah, it's been a wild ride. Can't believe I'm here and still doing this career. And like I genuinely got a chuckle out of him saying like, I can't believe I did some of those things in the montage of old footage. Like I was like, yeah, you might not actually even remember those depending on where you landed.
It was just a nice. Most of this segment was really nice, heartwarming. I love how when Jeff Hardy came out and started doing the juke, Xavier Woods did it with him.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah.
And then Samoa Joe came out. And the segment went from nice and wholesome to awesome and making me ready for this feud.
Samoa Joe just comes out swinging, just going like, yeah, of course you can't remember that. You were probably drunk for half of them. It's like,
like my mom will tell you, because I had headphones off. I was listening to this through speakers and organizing comics in my room while I watched this segment. I literally said "fuck you" to Samoa Joe twice.
Oh yeah, no, it's like, fuck you. It's great, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's great.
Yeah.
One of the best.
It was a really great segment. Really great. That was the end of that SmackDown, right?
No, Women's Battle Royale was where Asuka wins.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, it's a great segment. Great working from both of them. Really cool respect to the past, and I can't wait for more of this rivalry.
Yeah, but like Jeff said, like, come on, you want to fight? Let's fight right now. And Samoa Joe takes a couple steps, is like, yeah, I'll do it, and then he just fucking goes back to the back room. It's like, nah, fuck you. It's great. Samoa Joe, fucking Jeff Hardy. This is gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I like that WWE is fucking acknowledging that Jeff had substance abuse problems in the past, because I don't think they've ever done that before.
In show, they haven't. In side material, they have.
Okay.
Remember the Hardy Boys documentary?
Oh yeah, but like I didn't count that as kayfabe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like side material, they have. Also, this is just a good storyline. They've just been setting up good storylines on SmackDown. It's like top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of good storylines, here's a bad one. AOPP.
Okay, here we go. This is the worst thing happening in wrestling right now. There, I said it.
You don't have to say it like that. It's true.
I feel like everybody's generally afraid to admit it. Like a lot of the people I see talking about it are like, yeah, this isn't the best, but it's okay. And I'm like, no, this is pretty terrible.
The only okay thing happened just was recently, like this week.
What? Drake Maverick being on Bobby Lashley's robe?
Bobby Roode.
Whatever. B-boy.
Okay, so let's go backwards a little bit. At Survivor Series, AOP, managed by Drake Maverick, is going up against The Bar, who also has the Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
During the match, the Big Show gets Drake Maverick up, and he's like threatening him. And in the middle of that, Drake Maverick pisses himself.
I'm pretty sure he didn't actually piss himself. Like, it's really obvious.
No, Monchetti, he did piss himself because the machine that was going to do it for him broke.
Oh, see, there was a moment where he touched his pants, and I was legit like, oh, that, because I knew it was coming thanks to Twitter. I was like, oh, he just hit the button to make the pissing happen, and then it happened.
No, that machine broke, so he had to fucking do it for real.
That sucks. Like, that, more than this happening, that alone just sucks. I feel
and
sorry.
And Vince McMahon fucking pissed himself laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that no.
And the one part of this storyline I have genuinely liked happened immediately after that, where Big Show just started laughing because it was so stupid that they were doing it, and he had to walk out of camera. That got a chuckle out of me. The fact that Big Show couldn't keep a straight face, that he knew this was so stupid, was like, yeah, that's legitimately funny. This shit isn't.
But then the next Raw, AOP had a match, and you know what the crowd did?
They chanted AOPP, because that's fucking mature.
What else do you want them to fucking do? They had their manager piss himself. It's like, God.
If I had been in the audience, I would have tried to start a counter chant of some kind.
No. The audience is completely validated, in my opinion, for this. It's like, you had, like, this is fucking dumb. And they were chanting less, oh, your manager pissed himself. And it's just more like, this is stupid.
I know, but you gotta understand, that's not the way Vince is gonna take it. Vince is gonna take it, oh, people are cheering AOPP? They're into this. They like this angle. They're reacting to it. They're being vocal. This is good. It's the same thing as cheering oh god, what was the anti-Roman Reigns chant?
I can't remember.
Or just the general fact that during Roman Reigns main events, people would just cheer whatever to entertain themselves. Like, I realized recently, thanks to I forget his name, but some like famous wrestling guy. I was listening to a video or a podcast by him, and he pointed out that, like, that doesn't do anything. That just makes Vince think the audience is into it because they're reacting and being vocal and doing something instead of just sitting there being quiet. Because that's the way Vince McMahon's mind works. Because this guy has worked with Vince McMahon, and he felt like he knew that. And, like, I understand the frustration, I get it, but I'm no longer into doing that kind of shit.
Yeah, but it's just more of like, I don't blame them. Like, this, it felt more mocking to WWE than to the wrestlers themselves, which I think is more the intent. They were making fun of the storyline, and the fact that Bobby Roode and Gables fucking had to tell fucking piss jokes.
That was awful. That whole segment, I was just like, this is going to be a black mark on all of your careers from now on.
Oh, God. And urine, that whole, it's just that whole segment.
Like, I've generally felt like they've been playing Bobby Roode, sorry, I keep doing it. I felt like they've been playing Bobby Roode a little too goofy generally. That was way too over the top and ridiculous. It made him look like a fucking buffoon and a child. And
imagine, a couple of years, like 2 years ago, Bobby Roode was a fucking top heel in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Man. And this week, I wouldn't say it's a bright spot, but Drake Maverick basically stole Bobby Roode's robe, took it to the back, and pissed on it. Like,
I wasn't super into that, but like, you can interpret it in an okay way.
Yeah, at least it's Drake Maverick taking it back and using it as a weapon and not just as a joke.
And you know what's super frustrating? They've completely ignored it on 205. Like, I understand why. Drake probably hates that he has to do it and doesn't want it in the show he's supposed to have control over for the most part. But
yeah, and
it just makes it feel like a weird, disconnected bullshit thing.
Because here's the thing. There's two WWE continuities. There's main roster continuity, and then there's Hunter continuity. Hunter continuity is NXT and 205 Live. Main roster continuity is Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in Hunter's world, Drake Maverick never pissed himself. That never happened. So it's a Drake Maverick character, but the Drake Maverick character in the main roster, no, he pissed himself. Ugh.
I guess you can look at it that way.
No, I have to, or else I'm just gonna get very depressed.
I just try not to think about this shit in general until I'm watching it.
Yeah, it's just so much. It's too much. Fuck WWE right now. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because I was so excited and I was thinking, oh man, all this is gonna be great. Beginning of this year, it's like, oh yeah, wrestling's fucking great.
Mhm.
And it took a year. It takes other wrestling fans like 10 years to get to this point. It took us a fucking year.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Endless just always says. WWE is a constant roller coaster of either you love everything or you hate everything.
And then you have NXT, which is just good. But speaking of other wrestling, I watched some indie show.
Okay. What indie show? Tell me about the indie show.
Okay, so there's an independent promotion called Major League Wrestling. They are based in Orlando, and they put their weekly TV show up on YouTube. I decided, I might as well just watch the latest one. And it was so fucking good.
Cool.
An hour of just solid wrestling and character, and like everything was just good and interesting story that I'm already subscribed to the YouTube channel so I can watch next week's episode when it comes out. Interesting character, like a dude was challenging for the heavyweight doing his rematch for the heavyweight champion. Like he lost it and this was his rematch clause. He lost, and it was like, and like the whole thing was just like he had a breakdown and it's like, man, fuck all this shit. And it was like, yeah, fuck all this shit. I don't even know jack shit about you, but I agree with you.
Nice.
Yeah, like they made me enjoy wrestling, which was a nice thing for a change. Just because it's just, there's nothing more about that. It's just like, it's good. Raw and SmackDown, just the state of them right now. It's like watching a third world country live right next to a modern urbanized country.
Wow, you're gonna go that far. Okay.
Raw is just a wasteland of
I
talent.
feel like a few good things come out of Raw every once in a while, or a few really good things. I never regret watching Raw, but it's always like, well, this is bad. This is bad. This is okay. This is bad. This is okay. Ooh, this is really good. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Show's over.
Yeah.
And SmackDown is like, this is okay. This is okay. This is okay. That's really cool. This is okay. This is okay. That's really cool. This is okay. Show's over.
Yeah. There shouldn't be any bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to make an average wrestling show. Like what is Seth Rollins' story right now? Dean Ambrose is there apparently.
Dean is upset and he doesn't want to say why. He just wants to get revenge for why he's upset, and Seth just wants to talk to him because he doesn't understand what he did wrong.
Yeah.
But I gleaned 90% of that from WWE Chronicle Dean Ambrose.
Exactly. Like this week, it was Seth Rollins had an open challenge. And they could have had an NXT person come and just do a one-off match. They could have had another member of the roster that hadn't been seen in a while do a really good Seth Rollins match. Like, that would be really fun. Who shows up? Dolph fucking Ziggler. A guy we've seen fight Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I'm so excited. How unique and original.
We've seen this match 30 times this year alone. Like that's what I'm talking about. It's not that the okay stuff is okay. It's that the okay stuff has been done to death, and it's been done to death better times already. It's like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Like, I'm not watching Raw anymore.
If I thought Vince McMahon actually paid attention to cheers or chants, I would say from now on people should do a "Get Creative" chant.
I don't even know if they're trying. And are they? Like, if they are trying, this is like incredibly upsetting how like, this is you trying? Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I'm just not watching Raw. SmackDown's okay. SmackDown's good. But it's 3 hours. If only 1 hour of that is worth it and it's sprinkled in over 3 hours, I shouldn't have to shovel through shit to get something okay.
That's a fair enough complaint.
Like, yeah, fine. There's some good segments. I can just fucking watch the clips on YouTube.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. Fuck, man. So that was wrestling this month.
It sure was.
A lot of fucky shit. So, any closing statements or remarks you want to say?
I would, if Mike and Maria Kanellis ever get a hold of this episode, I would really love to be adopted by you two and trained in the art of lucha hunting. And if Becky Lynch ever gets a hold of this episode, please call me.
She's not.
She might. You don't know.
Nah.
Stranger things have happened. Like, literally, stranger things have happened. There's a show called Stranger Things, and it has happened.
You know what they should have called the second season?
Stranger Things?
No, Even Stranger Things.
Yes!
And then the third season, Even More Stranger Things.
Yes! Oh my god, that's... why did they do that?
Season 4, All the Stranger Things.
All the strangest things.
Yeah. But general thoughts over the month. Wrestling is fun when effort is put into it.
Yeah.
When like when no effort, it just becomes a slog.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So give the people who you are. What is your modus operandi, and how are you going to kill them?
I am Simion Scott. I am a YouTube online internet creative boy. I make the Vacuuminator Saga video series about a fictionalized version of myself talking about fictional properties he likes on the internet and dealing with all sorts of storyline bullshit. It's kind of like wrestling, kind of not. I have a blog channel that's just titled after my name. If you want to keep up with me and get to know me, you can follow me on Twitter at @Simion Scott. You can follow me on Instagram, same thing there, just with underscores. And I'll probably kill you with a lead pipe. I'm a fan of blunt objects, so if I have to kill you, I'd probably go for like a lead pipe or maybe a baseball bat.
All right, cool. I'm Chris Boingo Rider. Find me on YouTube, Boingo Rider. You can find me on Twitter at Boingo_Rider, because someone fucking took that name, I guess. I don't know. I don't even remember why I fucking have the underscore. I think it is that. Whatever. I do video essays, editorial thingamajigs. You can find my Discord in the description. And I think that's it. I think that's about it. This was episode 2 of Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. Oh boy, I didn't realize it would depress me this much.
Yeah, I'm generally okay, but there was some stupid shit this month.
It's just, I think, you know why I'm depressed? This is an epilogue. I'm gonna
That's
keep
fine.
it.
Go ahead.
It's because I enjoy Seth Rollins. I enjoy Finn Balor. I enjoy all the wrestlers on Raw. But all I see when watching Raw is them being given shit to eat. It's like, don't eat the shit. Yeah, but I don't have anything else to eat. But yeah, but don't eat the shit. Yeah, but I gotta eat the shit. And then you see them eat the shit, and it's like, why are you eating shit? That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Was that just a shitty metaphor?
Yeah, kind of.